How to influence government as the 99%. Citizens that participated in Occupy Wall Street identified themselves as the 99%. This was in reference to the disparity in wealth held by the top 1% and the lesser amount held by all the remaining people in the country or around the world. Generally, the protesters shared the sentiment that their influence on government was being crowded out by corporate interests, election donors, and other high-status people. Instead of it being an equitable struggle to influence government, it is usually those that have personal relationships with government officials and those with money who take center stage. A majority of citizens feel undervalued and that their country's government is out of touch with the needs of the people. Despite the mass disillusionment with government, countries like America, Canada, and Australia are still robust democracies. In addition to protesting and voting, there are strategic methods that citizens within democracies can use to directly contact government officials. However, it takes persistence, effort, and passion to make a positive impact in your community. You don't want to fall into a state of apathy and helplessness or maintain the status quo once the protests are done. This article focuses principally on what you can do as an American citizen, but similar approaches can be undertaken in other democracies too. Part 1. Be an information source. 1. Become a valuable source of information. Focus on one issue that you have expertise in and personal experience with. Stay dedicated to the issue while continuously building your knowledge about it. Talk to professionals and experts, research your issue, read news about your issue, intern in the field, talk to other citizens that are passionate about it and join other organizations based on your issue. 2. Understand the details of both sides so that your argument will be stronger and more credible. Provide the benefits and downfalls of each side, while proving that your suggestions have the greatest positive impact for the general public. 3. Develop proposals for change. Once you are equipped with enough information, you can develop in-depth, meaningful, and innovative proposals to present to relevant government officials. Just by presenting the information to the government, you are holding them accountable on the issue. Many government officials appreciate guidance from citizens that are knowledgeable about the issue. Avoid dishonest, exaggerated, or inaccurate claims. However, it's wise to point out holes in other proposed legislation that ignores the welfare of the 99%. Part 2. Be engaged. 1. Get social and increase your influence. With the rise of social networks and distrust of strangers, it helps to become a well-known and respected figure within your community. Relationships are the core to a united stance for your issue. 2. Participate in community service, the arts, organizations, and popular events to increase your visibility and opportunities to network. Remain dedicated so that you can gain leadership positions and head significant projects. The more influence you gain in the community, the more distinctive your voice will become and the more people will take what you say seriously. You will also have more chances to directly communicate and interact with government officials or politicians. 3. Get involved. It's important to get involved in activities that are related to your issue. For example, you are attempting to promote your policy idea on education, consider participating in the PTA or school board. 4. Join with like-minded individuals and gather support. Join community lobbyists and local interest groups that advocate for your cause. These organizations can sharpen your campaigning skills. They will help you gain experience writing letters, making calls, getting an answer from politicians at forums, attending conventions, and community organizing. Try to join an interest group that is in direct contact with the government officials will access to your cause. 5. Use your community influence to inform citizens and encourage more citizens to join the local efforts. Politicians often believe that citizens are apathetic or not paying attention to what they are doing. Now that you have a team, you all can write opinion letters to the local newspaper or start a local political blog so that you can collectively express dissent or consent for proposed legislation by more powerful corporate lobbyists. As the saying goes, there is power in numbers. The more informed the public becomes, the more pressure the politicians feel to consider the opinions of the citizens. 6. Offer to speak at public institutions to spread more awareness. In addition to joining local interest groups, consider forming a grassroots organization or inciting a grassroots movement, almost in the similar manner as Occupy Wall Street. Citizens can also utilize the various forms of direct democracy through an initiative, referendum, or recall. Initiatives are a method for citizens to propose legislation to be voted on by the community. Referendums give citizens the opportunity to vote on legislation that has been passed by government, or citizens can use recalls to remove unresponsive and unethical officials. 7. Network with people connected to the politicians. Contact people who already have a relationship with politicians you want to influence. Get their opinions on the views to see if you agree, or try to persuade them with your opinions about the issue. Since these people already impact specific politicians, they have a better chances at getting the results you desire. These people, organizations, and associations are listed on opensecrets.org. Also argue your case to the organization, associations, and people that endorse the candidates that you are trying to get a response from. Call or email the politicians, such as senators, to express your concerns to staff members that may share the same outlook. Then slowly develop relationships with staff members and appeal to them to spread your concerns to target politicians. Part 3. Participating. 1. Directly communicate with key government officials. Become a priority to key officials by taking the time to get to know them. 2. Participate in governmental events such as town hall meetings, conventions, election forums, and/or congressional sessions. Attend meetings where the politician of choice will make an appearance. 3. Invite key government officials to speak your organization or institution. If your organization is not well known enough or doesn't have the capacity to organize large events, help other establishments such as colleges or national organizations host a lecture or panel. These are the perfect times to get familiar with the government processes and talk to the politicians after the meetings. 4. Research local representatives online and compare which officials will be the most receptive to your policy suggestions by looking at their past experiences, actions, voting patterns, and legislation. You will have a greater chance of influencing local members who in turn can influence more powerful national members. Now that you have a team, work together to call government officials or travel to state capitol or congressional offices to discuss the issue with officials such as senators. Even try to persuade officials that appear to vehemently oppose your ideas. If you are able to change just one more politician's mind, it can have a domino effect. 5. Be an avid campaign supporter for candidates that have proven to support your cause. Between election seasons, research politicians to volunteer or intern for. Tips. Although you may wish for a direct response from government, you always have the option to incite passion in citizens that already have a knack for influencing government by writing letters to the newspaper or blogging. It's important to remain on track. Therefore, track the progress of politicians that are supposed to vouch for your issue and to track your progress. For future elections, vote for politicians that have a history of being receptive to the 99%. Do not fall for the gimmicks and convincing negative political ads. Warnings. Do not be too aggressive and biased. This attitude may push away potential supporters and create sympathy for those that oppose you. Strive to be pleasant, professional, succinct and firm so that others can clearly understand your reasoning. Do not let discouragement or frequent rejection cause you to give up. The political process tends to halt rapid change, and in many cases activists do not see change in their lifetime. Your main goal should be about ardently spreading awareness and letting government know that someone cares about the issue.